And from here to Sapa, 300 over 300 kilometers, 320 kilometers, and then we have to spend about 5.5 an hour. 5.5 an hour.
What's going on, guys? It's the next day now. I was actually meant to be getting the night bus to Sapa, as I mentioned. Yesterday I literally just spent moving from coffee shop to coffee shop, just doing some work. And then I was basically doing some reading online, and I kind of talked myself out of getting the night bus because apparently they're not comfortable. And when you get to Sapa, there's a mountain that you've got to climb. And doing it on a night bus is not the safest thing, shall we say, especially for Westerners who are a bit taller than the recommendation. So I've actually just literally changed bus. I'm still with the same company, but I'm just getting it the next morning, which is now, it's about 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning right now. Been on the bus for about 2 hours. We literally just stopped at the service station. I have absolutely no idea where we are. Just kind of asleep. The tour guide, bus driver, whatever you want to call him, was rambling on for so long. Just kind of fell asleep. But we have about a 5.5 hour journey before we get to Sapa. Apparently it's meant to be one of the best bus rides ever, so when we actually get a bit closer, I'll start showing you some of that. I'll film some B-roll. Just stopped off and got what is apparently cookies. It tastes more like shortbread, but I'm fairly certain they're off because that does say the 22nd of February, which is about 3 weeks ago. Fingers crossed it's just the date that they were actually produced and not the date they expired. They taste alright. Right, so I've now arrived in Sapa. I've got out of the hecticness that is the city centre. I'm walking to my hostel. It's right up a massive hill. We're already very high up in the clouds as it is, so there's not much air up here. I think it's just around the corner now though. Getting off that bus, well, firstly let me talk about that bus journey. It was fine up until about 30 minutes outside the Sapa, and then it just gets absolutely mad. You're literally just going on mountains, literally on cliff edges, which is, it's an experience to say the least. But then when you get off the bus, you're literally greeted by probably about 50 people trying to sell you everything they can, which is what I meant by I've escaped the hecticness. Let's just find this hostel now though. And there it is. Capsule Hostel. Okay, so you've obviously seen the title of the video, and here is my capsule hotel in Vietnam that cost just $5 US per night. I'm adding this in as a voiceover after the recording, as people were actually sleeping in the hotel at the time. So when you arrive, you were given a key card to power the inside of the capsule and a key for the locker, which was outside of the capsule for your bag. I was on the top bunk, unfortunately, but once I got there, there was 5 different types of lighting, which you will see me messing around with at some point. 2 standard plug sockets, 2 USB plug sockets, and there was also a bit of information about a TV, but that wasn't installed yet, so maybe they are actually putting TVs in the capsules in the future. Now, personally, from the point of view of someone who is quite claustrophobic, I wouldn't say I'm completely claustrophobic, but sometimes it's uncomfortable. I actually found the capsule really, really cool. The bed was super comfy and you could actually lock it from the inside, and there was quite a bit of space, and obviously you can charge all your stuff, and it was quite safe, quite cool. And to be honest, I think everyone should actually experience a capsule hotel at some point in their life, because it's just such a unique type of accommodation that you don't really get anywhere else. And just to add on to the end of this, I actually wasn't paid or have any affiliation with the hotel whatsoever. I just wanted to share my experience, which was a good one, thankfully. Just checked into my hostel/hotel. It's a capsule hotel, so seems really cool. Somewhere just that I can kind of rest at night. Going to be pretty much exploring every single day that I'm here, and then obviously heading back there at night just to get some work done. Sapa, in terms of the city itself, seems hectic, but it's all about visiting the local villages, which is what I'm about to go and do now. I'm going to go and see a place called Cat Village. Okay, so I'm currently trekking down to Cat Village. Now, a lot of you are probably wondering, do I have a guide for this trip? Because a lot of people that come to Sapa, pretty much everyone has a guide. I do not, and I will tell you why in just a moment when we actually get down there. Right, so the reason I'm actually not going with a guide is because online I've read it's actually very doable to do without a guide, exploring most of Sapa. But there's not actually much information out there on it, especially on YouTube. There's not many people that actually show you how they've done it. They say they've done it, but they don't actually show you how. So that's what I'm planning on doing on this 3-day trip to Sapa. And I'm fill you in on it all once I'm finished and let you know if it's actually possible to do. Right, so the entrance fee for the ticket and a map was 70,000 Vietnamese dong, which is about £2.25. So you really can't complain at that. That's just basically to help the local economy by the sounds of it. Got to pay these things, and it's nice to help them out. To get an idea on this hike itself, I'm now down here, and we started way up there and even further up because that's just the top of where you can actually see. So it's actually quite a long hike, and I'm nowhere near even near the bottom. Because if you look down there, the waterfall's all the way down there. So even this village that I've come to visit, which is actually the closest to Sapa town centre, it's actually quite a trek, and getting back up there is going to be interesting and challenging. I see a waterfall, and I also see the village. Time to properly explore. Said that is quite an impressive waterfall, especially for the location it's in. This place is absolutely insane. Let me show you around the rest of it. As I just said, I've only got a glimpse of the part over there. This whole place just looks insane. I'm going to go and check out that waterfall a bit closer and then show you around the rest of this place because it looks incredible. I'm not sure if the house is actually an exhibition house because they do actually have them here. I'm guessing it is considering the door's wide open, so we'll take a look in there if we can. So this is an exhibition house. This is what the houses must look like on the inside for the people that actually live here. Quite cool to experience. Now, I might be completely wrong saying this, but I believe these wheels and this whole middle section is to actually help with the water flow, especially with there being a lot of rice fields around here, and then obviously the huge waterfall that we've just seen over there. Kind of makes sense to have some kind of system that helps with the flow of water because it obviously slows it down and keeps it well balanced. Otherwise this place will flood so easily, especially with obviously Southeast Asia having monsoon seasons. Probably quite likely that it does get flooding at some point, but at least this system actually helps, and it seems very, very interesting just to see how it all works. It's actually quite long in terms of how far it runs. It literally runs from one waterfall right the way down there, literally all the way to the other end here. So it's really, really cool to check out. I spot another waterfall just down there. You will learn one or two things on this trip in this series. I love waterfalls and beaches. Just check this one out. Not one, but two waterfalls. Only in Vietnam. I've seen sheep, pigs, and a load of dogs literally just roaming freely around this village. It's really, really cool to see. You wouldn't see that back at all. Right, so I found this little spot kind of like up here. where literally no one else is going, and to be fair, they were painting and working on it before, so I'm not entirely sure if it's open and if I should be here, but there was no sign saying not to. So I'm just going to talk about how easy it is to actually get to Cat village. And obviously the other villages are a bit more difficult to get to, that's why it's advised that you do get a guide. But this one you certainly do not have to, literally just follow the main road on a map, which looks like it goes this way. And then when you get here, you pay 70,000 Vietnamese dong and you just walk down some stairs and you are literally here. It was super simple. I literally done no research, I just got told to follow the main road. Done that, and I'm literally here. The trek I'm going to do tomorrow, which will be a bit more difficult, it doesn't require a guide, but obviously you can do it without, but you can do it with one. The advantage of doing it with one is you get accommodation and meals and stuff like that paid for. But if you've already got somewhere to stay in Sapa Central, you get a lot of food with you, take it with you. You're perfectly fine doing this trek without a guide. So if you don't want to pay the massive fees of actually getting a guide or going with the tour, it's very easy to do on your own. You just need to do a bit of research before you actually go for it. Time to carry on with the trek. And very nice of the sun to actually come out whilst in Sapa. I heard that's very rare this time of year. This bridge is insane. It's literally so high up and it feels so unsteady. It's only shame about it is there's loads of people on motorbikes basically trying to either sell you stuff or sell you a lift back, so it's not good for a photo opportunity. But that sunset is nice. I've now got to get right back to the top of the mountain before it goes fully dark, so wish me luck with that. All the way up there is where I started, and that's where I've got to get to. It's tiring. Not far to go now. So within about half an hour it's gone from about 26 degrees and rarely sunny, which you would have seen in one of the last clips, to about 8 degrees, freezing, and very misty. I've heard that that's what happens in Sapa, but just take a look at this. The mist has really come in the mountains. It's going to be a cold night. Right, so that restaurant was actually really nice, would highly recommend it. It's called 24 Restaurants, I believe. I'm always a bit sceptical of going in places that has no one else in, but it was actually really nice. It had good reviews on TripAdvisor, to be fair. It's now about 7 o'clock, I'm heading back to the hostel, hotel, whatever you want to call it, for a full day of exploring tomorrow, so I'm getting an early night. If you did enjoy this one, be sure to let me know by leaving a like. If you are new around here, be sure to subscribe to the channel for more Vietnam and Philippines travel vlogs coming very soon. Thank you for watching, guys. Till next time, goodbye.